and welcome to Keeping It 100 Medicine. I'm Dr. Danielle, a physical medicine and rehab resident. In today's video, I'm going to discuss searching for residency programs, the different websites that you can use, and what kind of questions you might want to ask yourself if you're making a core list of programs if you want to narrow down your search. And I just want to give a shout out to Chinu. Sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Thank you so much for asking this question, and we'll get straight into the video. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Before I get into the specific websites you can use for looking at residency programs, I just want to have you take a minute to envision what kind of doctor you want to be. Do you know the specialty? Are you indecisive? Are you competitive for a specialty you're applying to? And since you're applying, are you considering applying to other specialties as a backup, just in case? So for example, if you want to apply to orthopedic surgery, you know that you're going to need a good STEP score, a lot of research, and very strong LORs. So for someone who's applying to that, for example, they may also want to consider applying to general surgery, just in case, because if God forbid, they're not able to match orthopedics, they can perhaps get into general surgery and maybe get into a PGY2 spot or second year spot the next year, or just continue on there, at least they're doing surgery. So that's just something to consider when you're making your list for your residency program. So you have an idea of what you want to apply to, and now you're ready to look for the different programs. Which different websites should you use? So the first one that I'm going to go over is Residency Explorer. I really like this one because it is free. And it includes information on, let's say if you're IMG, the percentage of international medical graduates that go to a specific program. It also compares you versus your STEP score, your volunteer work, any publications, that kind of stuff. And they have different filters as far as locations, as far as states in the United States, as well as visa statuses. So I think this website is great. I'm just going to insert a video on how to use it. First, we're going to log into Residency Explorer using our AMC username, ID, and password. After you've logged in, you're going to go to My Profile. From there, you're going to add your work experience, volunteer research, and what type of applicant you are. For me, IMG, and then your STEP scores. So now we're here and we see that there's the program. They show the percent of matched applicants for IMGs, the STEP score, publications, research, volunteer work, etc. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the state, the region. You could put in a zip code if you'd like. The visa, accepted or sponsored section, as well as osteopathic recognition. And at the bottom, they're going to have the profile comparison, so it tells you what each of those little symbols mean. If you want to change the specialty that you're looking at, you're just going to click on the right-hand corner that actually has the name of the specialty that you're currently exploring. And then from there, you're going to see a long list of the different specialties that they have available on this website. And for this example, I'm just going to click family medicine. And from there, we're just going to pick the top program and see what the details that they have concerning this program are. So this one is University of Texas program. So we see the general information about University of Texas, their website, the program director, coordinator, that kind of information. Then we're going to continue going down. We're going to see program quick facts like the PGY 1, 2, 3, applicant and match trends that they usually have, how you compare what they usually take, applicant information, STEP scores that they're looking for, minimum, stuff like that. And then residency salary and benefits, as well as resident practice education, educational research opportunities, resident demographics and background for all training years, resident medical school, career plans. Another residency program search tool you can use is Freida. Freida is also free. And I didn't particularly care for this as much as Residency Explorer. It's not as user-friendly in my personal opinion. I didn't like the layout, but you can use it, and basically you can see let's see, you can filter for the specific residency program that you want to apply to. You can see the visa status. You can move the toggle on the sides. So let's say if you want a percent of IMGs or US students that get accepted. And then you can also, once you particularly click on, let's say, a specific specialty or hospital, you can get some information from them concerning, let me see if I can find one, the program as far as the amount of years, number of people to accept, the program and work schedule, that's also included. For some programs, some will say, like, is there a minimum requirement, step score, do they accept the visas, stuff like that, and any benefits. So that is also an option, just to have a variety, but this is also free, so why not use it? So another good residency program search tool you can use is Match a Resident. Just put a disclaimer, this is not sponsored, but this one is not free. And like the other two that I had mentioned, this one costs $79 just to get partial access, I guess they call it. That means you have access until sometime in February. And then if you want to have full access, you pay $99 and that would expire like March 31st. I did like Match a Resident because I thought that they had similar filters as far as the step score, the IMG, if you need a visa, that kind of stuff. And in addition, they included if you need an E7G certification. They also include a little bit of information from some of the previous applicants, like if a program was malignant or not, or at least that was when I used it, when I was applying. And I like that they have a section for letters of recommendation. So for example, they're putting in there if you need a letter from a program director, or should you get a letter from, you know, any attending that you have rotated with. So that is also very important information to know. I'm going to insert a video on how to access it, but this is like the free version because I'm not paying for that again. So we're going to go into Google and type in Match a Resident, and from there you're going to start to populate your information. You're going to put what type of applicant you are, your U.S. clinical experience, your step scores, if you need a visa or not, when you would or will graduate. Then you're going to get a list of your matches, and you can enter in your email and information to set up an account. Then you're going to add just a little bit more information once you have set up your account, including like if you're MS4, and basically the same similar stuff you did already. So once you've signed in, and now you can see all the list of the different specialties. So for this example, I'm just going to click on PM&R. So we're just going to click on one for an example. So you're going to see the USME step score that they recommend, that there's a whatever the requiring passing step 2 score. You see US clinical experience, if it's preferred or not. Visa, how IMG friendly it is. And then you're also going to see, scroll down some more, application deadline, ECMG certification is going to say if it's required or not, letter of recommendation, if it's preferable to get it from a program director or whatnot. And sometimes I guess they might include the interview format as well. Another good website that you can use for residency search is IMG Prep. This one is expensive as well, though. It costs $75 to have access until March 1st, and then $95 to have access until May 3rd, something like that. And it's very similar to Match a Resident as far as, again, the step scores, your IMG status. I believe you could put your school, and that kind of told you if anybody from your school got in. They have the ECMG certification filter as well. I'm going to try and insert a video on the different things that they have available. And they also have extra packages on there as well, such as personal statement, like thank you letters, your CV, stuff like that as well. And again, this is not sponsored either. Similar to what we did before, we're going to go to Google and type in IMG Prep. And from there, we're going to go to program list. And we're going to see similar information we had to put in before, our medical school, our step scores, if you need a visa or not, if you have any U.S. clinical experience. Then you're going to see a long list of different specialties that are available. You're again going to log in and kind of sign up for that. And let's click on programs. And then you're going to, again, put in a little bit more information about yourself, school, score, etc. So unfortunately, when I was trying to record this, it didn't want to load. I'm, again, using the free version. But basically, you can, similar to other things, filter by location. And then you have these secondary filters, which, again, had like ECMG certification, things that were related to your school, like what programs were likely to take applicants from your school, and just you can see some of them on the site when I'm scrolling here. I also just want to note the different services that they had available when you're signing out if you happen to buy this thing, such as like the personal statement and the thank you letters and interview packages. So I thought that was really interesting that was updated from when I was applying. My only issue with those paid websites like Match Resident and IMG Prep was how updated they were. So for example, when I applied and I didn't get my STEP score until like mid-January, I started emailing the coordinator saying, hey, I'm really interested in your program and my STEP score has come in, like yada yada, right? And I had a few coordinators message me back and one was like, I haven't been there in like 3 years. And I was like, that's awkward. So, and I got that from those paid websites. So I was like, interesting. I don't know how updated this thing is. So just a word of caution, definitely double check with even the free Residency Explorer or, just reaching out in some other way. But yeah, just double check. In addition to using these websites, you definitely want to contact your school and see if they've had any people from your school match in the specific program that you would like to get into. Some residency programs do like to take applicants from specific schools because they know that these schools produce good residents. So use this to your advantage, and that's should be free. Your school should hopefully provide that to you anyway. You have your running list of residency programs that you can apply to, and now you can either decide to go broad or more narrow. Personally, I recommend applying broadly, especially if you're an international medical graduate, and even more so if you are a foreign international medical graduate versus a U.S. international medical graduate, just because that visa status can be difficult for different programs. So keep that in mind. From there, if you want to narrow down your list and you want to be a little bit more picky, some questions that you should ask yourself when you're narrowing down your programs is the location. What area in the U.S. is it? Are you particular to be living in a city, or are you okay to live in a suburb, or do you like the rural areas? Do you have your family close by? That's something that is nice to have with residency. If you can get a break, even if you get like a weekend off and you can go home just to get away from the madness, that's something nice. Are you particular about the weather? Do you like to live in a warmer climate or a colder climate? What are the benefits that this residency program offers? For example, do they have meals that are included? Are they taking that out of your paycheck? Which is really rude. Do they have like vacation time? How much vacation time? When can you take it? There's like different types of questions that you can ask the residency programs. And like, can you participate in couples match? Again, is there a visa part? Do they like allow visas, people who need a visa to get into that program? So there's some questions that you can ask yourself if you're trying to dwindle down that large list of programs that you can apply to. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was very helpful for those who will be applying to residency and trying to figure out the different websites to use and filters and all that stuff. Make sure that you pick programs that are most likely to pick you as well, as far as if you're an international medical graduate, if you need a visa, that kind of stuff. Just keep that in mind. You're gonna do amazing. And thank you again to Chinyu for this question. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.